Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sephora. I'm a licensed attorney, law school coach, and business coach. And in today's video, we're going to be talking all about some of my favorite books so that you can hit six figures in your business. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. So I've got my phone, laptop, and iPad here. So I'm going to be looking between the three so that I can remember which books I want to talk about and what I want to say about them. So the very first book is We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rodgers. I read this book last year in 2023, and I just think every woman entrepreneur, business owner should read this book because it has so many gems. It talks about the importance of valuing you, putting yourself first, and actually doing the things you need to do to become a millionaire. So Rachel Rodgers gives concrete tips, which I always love in a book. I love a concrete, actionable book where it's not just, no like action taking tips. There's concrete steps to make money right now in her book. She gives you literally things like you could go out and do to get money in your pocket as you're reading the book. The book makes you want to put it down while you are reading it to go do these things. She also talks about making boss moves versus from what I remember, she calls it like $1 million decisions versus broke ass decisions. Like there's charts in the book explaining what a broke ass decision is and $1 million decision is. She talks about taking things off of your plate, which I've talked about on this channel before, taking things off of your plate and outsourcing it to other people. She talks about different formulas and how you can actually see and start making money and start building wealth, right? And this is, I really, really love this book also because Rachel talks about her own story, right? Rachel is, and this is possibly, definitely one of the reasons that drew me to her book. She's also an attorney and she started out, from a lower income family and essentially literally worked her way up from the ground up. And I don't want to say this wrong, but she had a really low credit score. And I believe in the book, she talks about when she had to go to the bank and beg them to give her this check early because she needed to pay to get her daughter into school. I mean, literally, Rachel is a prime example of building your business from the ground up. And I think this book is a must read for anyone who has goals of hitting six figures, $1 million, seven figures in their business, because like I said, not only like action tips, but it's so relatable. So I really, really liked that book. The next book that I have on my list is a classic. It's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I just think this was one of the books. I had actually read this book so many years ago when I was in college and I reread it. I read so many books last year, but I reread it last year or maybe the year before. And it's just one of those books that really ingrains in you that you do not, I want to think about how I say this because I don't know if this is exactly what the book is implying, but it's kind of what I took from it. Being rich is a mindset, right? If you have and Rachel's book talks about this too. If you have a poor mindset, you will never be rich because you have the mindset of a poor person. And so you are going to manifest only what a poor person can manifest. You have to have this rich mindset. And I think part of that is you can see in that Rich Dad, Poor Dad in the book because you have the two different mindsets of the two different fathers, right? And so it also puts in or relays the importance of hard work, right? And I want to emphasize here that I don't personally believe like the harder you work, the more money you're going to make. Not necessarily, okay? And you probably know there's tons of rich people who don't live by that, and there's tons of poor people who have got 4 jobs and they're still poor, but I think there's a saying or there's some truth to it in that at the beginning when you're just starting out, you still do have to put in the hard work because you have to understand the value, right? You have to understand the value of a dollar and how far that goes. If you read the book, you'll know what I'm talking about. But also then realizing when you need to hire someone, when you need to outsource tasks, when you need to do all these things so that you can continue building up in revenue. Like I said, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a classic. All of these books will be linked down below in my Amazon storefront. So you can just click that link and go and grab the books from Amazon. The next book is one of my favorites, 4-Hour Workweek. I read this likewise last year. And if you're an entrepreneur, this has got to be on your reading list. So the 4-Hour Workweek talks about essentially how you can work from anywhere. He calls it the new rich, which is essentially where you live your life on your own terms. So he gives you, again, I just love books that does this. He gives you concrete action steps to talking with your boss and negotiating a work from home arrangement. And this book was before COVID was even a thing. I read the expanded and updated version, but I know the original book came out before COVID, but even so, he talks about literally, he gives you scripts to negotiating how you can get this work from home so you can go travel the world or do whatever it is you want to do while still keeping your full-time job if that's what you want to do. He also talks about different, and I love this portion. I keep saying that, but I really did. He gives you concrete places to go, and outsource activities. So for example, he gave multiple resources for you to go and hire a personal assistant, right? If you need someone to schedule vacations for you, book vacations for you, do all these things that just menial tasks essentially for really good prices, by the way, for really good prices. Menial tasks that just take time out of your day. And if you give yourself that time back, you can work on building your business and making more money. So I really, really like that. I also really enjoyed just generally the mindset tips. Like I said, I say in all my videos, mindset is a big, big portion of scaling your business. I also love the mindset tips he gives in addition to the concrete action steps. I love when a book incorporates the two because it just makes it like, mwah, chef's kiss. And so he talks about, of course, also people who don't want to leave their 9-to-5, but then of course, entrepreneurs who want to start their business. And amazing book, go read it. Because let me go to the next one because there's a lot on here. The E-Myth Revisited. Oh my gosh. The E-Myth Revisited is a book that you should start out at the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey. And if you haven't read it, then go back and read it. This book is golden. I mean, golden. It gives you building a business from the ground up. Whoever wrote this book, I think it's a he, talks about the success plans of multiple businesses and how they all are kind of the same, right? It tells you how you need to come up with the business strategy. It tells you how to come up with an operating strategy. It tells you all those things that you need to have a successful business that you need to imagine. It tells you the different roles, how to hire, what roles to hire for, how to create descriptions of what those roles do. And I did it. I was reading it and doing it at the same time. And it helps you just really get a concrete idea of what your future business should look like, because he emphasizes even though you're just starting out, or even though maybe you're making 100,000 or 200,000 or whatever, if your goal is 7 figures or $1 million, then you have to be able to visualize what your business is going to look like at that level. And this book really, really helps you do that. So the E-Myth Revisited, again, it's going to be linked below in my Amazon storefront. So just a book that you should read, definitely, regardless of where you are in your business. If you haven't read it, go do it. The next one is Marketing Made Simple. Marketing Made Simple was a life changer for me because it literally walks you through the process of sales funnels. If you don't have a sales funnel, you need one. Or I should say marketing funnel. Let's let me clarify. Walks you through the process of how to create a marketing funnel, marketing/sales funnel, whatever. If you don't have one, then you're missing out on a ton of money, because essentially what this book does is it teaches you how to automate that process. So essentially you create your one-liner. It talks to you about how to create that. It talks to you about how to create your lead magnet to get people in. It talks to you about creating your nurture sequence. It talks to you about creating your sales sequence. And so, I mean, if you don't have any of that, or you don't know how to do that, Marketing Made Simple is the book for you. I already had this stuff in place when I read the book, but I definitely revamped it and kind of changed it a little, and according to what the book was recommending when I read the book last year. The next book I recommend is Sell Like Crazy. I really, really enjoyed this book. Because if you're not a salesperson, you need to become a salesperson, and Sell Like Crazy will help you do that. It gives you everything. I mean, everything. It tells you how to set up your landing page, how to create a sales landing page that converts. It tells you how to bring people over into like whether you need to lead them to book a consultation call or whether you can lead them directly to making an offer. It tells you how to create an offer, what a concrete, strong offer looks like, what factors you need to include. I mean, Sell Like Crazy was probably the book that I read that really leveled up the entire, or really fully explained the entire sales process and what needs to be included and how you should be looking at things. It talks about identifying your ideal client, which is so important. I have a full video on that already on how to identify your ideal client, but Sell Like Crazy also really helps you narrow that down. If you don't want to read the book, then go watch that video. But essentially it tells you like what you need to be looking for in your client avatar, how to create that client avatar, how to make sure like you're selling to the right person. And then it tells you how to sell to them. I mean, that book was just amazing. So for anyone who is like a little iffy or unsure on their sales process or like how to actually make sales, I recommend Sell Like Crazy. The second to last book I recommend is The 12-Week Year. This one is how to, all of these books are like up there, so I don't even know if I could rank them if I had to, but The 12-Week Year is essentially how to accomplish as much in 3 months that people accomplish in a year. And it literally tells you how to do that, how to break it down. I did it this year, starting like mid-January. And as of the recording of this video, I'm actually in the last few weeks of my 12-week year. And it's just so true, right? This book literally tells you how to goal set appropriately, how to create and only focus on the things that matter, only focus on the things that are going to get you closer to your goal. And the 12-week year is just amazing. I could do a whole video on the 12-week year and its teachings and how you can implement it in your own life to level up your business, level up your life, literally whatever it is. But I just really like the 12-week year. And I think every business person should at some point implement that, especially if you're trying to scale and make more money in your business. The final book I will recommend is Rich AF, or it's Rich as F, so ASF by Amanda Francis. Again, they're all going to be linked down below. This was a great, really great mindset book. And again, like also action points as well, and just kind of transforming how you think about money, how you perceive money, and how you should actually take action steps towards making more money. So I really enjoyed that book. It's a little bit more similar to Rachel Rodgers' We Should All Be Millionaires. But those are my list of 8 or 9. I don't know how many I gave you guys, maybe 9. Books that I recommend you read if you're trying to make more money in your business this year. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys like this video, make sure you leave a comment down below and tell me which book you plan to read next. Follow me on all of my social media accounts at Sephora Gray Esquire, ESQ for short. And I will see you guys on my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.